let we lime, come let we vibe, lime vibe. Oh, lime vibe.
Good night, everyone, and welcome once again to another LimeVibe Live podcast. I'm your host, Yuri Armenkamp from Nassau, Bahamas, the great one, Yuri Armenkamp. I just kicked my camera by accident just then. I'm being joined by Miss Kimberly Ram Calawan from Trinidad and Tobago. How are you doing tonight, Kimberly?
I'm there for now. It's a big night here in Trinidad because it's local government elections.
Oh, yeah.
So the polls are being tallied right now. As we have spoken in the last few weeks, this poll is being treated like a general elections because parties want to see how they would fare in the upcoming elections, quite 2025 when it's due.
Okay,
But,
okay. I'm getting
as you
results
know-
right now.
Yeah, results are coming in at hand right now, but it's still early to determine some of the districts and how they're doing. As you would remember, that this would have come about because of the UNC going to the Privy Council, because initially the PNM, the government, had determined that they would have stymied or postponed local government elections, which were constitutionally due December and March, between December last year and March this year. So this year, they won, and the courts decided you all need to hold elections soon. And this was decided about 70 days ago, not too long ago. But what's concerning most people is that there's still a good bit of low voter turnout. Local government elections over several decades now, it has been traditionally a low voter outcome because most people don't understand what local government means to them.
Okay,
And
so I'm seeing like some of these things only have like about 600, 700 people coming to vote, man. That's pretty low.
That's just in a few districts. Like, remember, these things are populations. If you were to break up everywhere, some of these places they probably cater to probably 20,000 people or so, right? Because local government is your boroughs, your cities, your towns, right? And it's each district within those cities, within those towns broken up.
Okay.
Right?
How many seats up for grab, actually?
What's that?
How many seats are up for grab?
So there's usually 14 regional corporations in total. And in the past, it's usually been 7. So 7 goes to the UNC and 7 goes to the PNL. They're hoping that deadlock would be broken. The PDP has entered, thrown its hat in the ring as well as the PEP, which is led by Philip Alexander.
So what happened to the PDP? Okay, what about the Folly Augustine?
That's Tobago House of Assembly. Tobago, they've had their elections before, and they are governed in that sense.
Okay, I got you.
Right,
So they don't get involved in these local government
No,
elections.
this is just Trinidad alone.
Gotcha. Okay, I got
Right.
you. Philip Alexander, I haven't heard his name in a while, man. How's he doing?
Well, this season he came out with his party to contest the elections. He has done so in recent years, but I think he's broadened his perspective, broadened his horizons, in the sense that they've fielded out more candidates in a lot of the regional corporations. In times gone by, it has just been to just a few areas. He's even joined in partnership, I believe, with some of the Farmers Association.
I got you.
To get that support in some of the rural constituencies, the rural areas.
Yeah, he's caring for the small man, the forgotten man on the street.
Yeah,
that's good.
So
you need
that's
those third parties, man. You need those third parties because they add the flavor and they actually look at the marginalized people that would almost normally get forgotten that would normally be forgotten by the larger parties. So we got to thank Philip Alexander. People like him. Any other third parties in the mix, or just him?
Well, NTA has joined alliance with the United National Congress. You know, the NTA is led by Gary Griffith, the former police commissioner.
Yeah. But he's a UNC.
He's usually been a Congress of the People. I would say not so much as in UNC. He's been part of it. Remember when he was in government with the UNC, it was under the coalition, the People's Partnership.
I got
And they were under that Congress of the People ticket when they formed that partnership, that alliance.
Gotcha. All right. So how's it looking there for the UNC tonight? Are they pulling this out, or it's still too early to tell?
Well, it's still very early. I think you would gauge a better idea as to who's ruling and who's been able to maintain the corporations which they've held over the past few years, by probably 10 o'clock or so. These
By
results
10.
usually come in by probably 12. A declaration is usually made by around closer to midnight.
Okay, we'll try to carry that in the Caribbean Magazine Plus tomorrow. Then we'll see what's happening with that.
Perhaps, yes.
Yeah, so there's a lot of
yeah,
excitement.
It
Are
is.
bars closed?
What's that?
Are liquor stores closed? Bars
Yes,
closed?
that is the law. When you're having elections, bars need to be closed
Oh my goodness. So when they plan to be open again by 9 o'clock tonight, 10 o'clock
by tomorrow morning.
tomorrow
They
morning?
close
Oh,
for
so
the
they close.
entire day.
Oh, that's a bummer. So I guess everyone's starting the night before.
Perhaps, but yeah, if you're drinking something, you're usually outside through your trunk.
Yeah,
Stocked up
yeah.
on your liquor there,
Mm.
or at home. But
Mhm.
most people, they've got their eyes glued on the television stations for coverage.
Yeah,
Tonight, I'm
'cause
usually out on the field. I was actually supposed to be outside tonight, but due to my health concerns, I turned them down and said, no, it's not possible.
oh, so you work the polls and when elections come around?
Yes,
Or?
I usually freelance with local television stations, and I
Oh, okay, I
usually
got you.
tally. Yeah, you would have. I'm not sure if you would have seen in the last few elections. I would have been out there.
No, I didn't see that. No, sorry about that.
Yeah.
I'm just now starting to watch you guys elections. So I wouldn't have known that. But yeah, it's good, man. You gotta take part in these do your civic duty, man. Take part in these elections. My mom used to do that for years. And I thought she just loved the TV. No, she just wanted to do her patriotic duty. And she wanted to get out there and she wanted to tally the vote. She wanted to be a part of that process. And as I get older, I understand how important that is, to take part in these things because it's your country and it's your civic
it is.
duty.
But the situation here in Trinidad is that most people don't understand how much local government actually relies on the central government. Central government is the one that is in charge. They've got a local government ministry as part of their cabinet makeup, and they are responsible for disseminating funds to each corporation. And each corporation, their success and failures is dependent on the monies that are being sent to them. And most people tend to blame, they don't understand the responsibilities of the local government and how that is sometimes skewed with the responsibilities for government.
Yes.
Take for an example, the roads, the maintenance of the roads. The main roads, the highways, the main roads within our constituencies are actually maintained by the Ministry of Works and Transport. It is, according to the Constitution, only secondary roads and minor roads are allowed to be governed by the local government corporations, right?
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
clearing of your drains within the secondary roads, those go hand, and maintenance of the roads go hand in hand. Secondary roads go hand in hand under the corporations, garbage collection and things like that. But most people, they don't understand that, and they usually tend to blame the MP. They tend to blame, they even tend to blame the local government when it comes to the main roads, but that's not their jurisdiction. It's according to law that they can't even do anything or interfere with it unless main government calls on them to lend a hand.
So that's a law. Okay.
It is in the Constitution. It is stipulated in law.
So these things are a big deal. Before we go any further, please like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube page. Please like, share, and subscribe. LimeVibe 77, that's LimeVibe 77 on Facebook and YouTube. As we give you the local government elections in Trinidad as they come along. As they come in, we're going to give you the results as they come in. But if we have the official results, okay? So yeah, Kim, also don't forget to donate to our page too. There's a link in the description. Please donate to the LimeVibe podcast. Anything that moves your heart to give to us, we'll take it. So yeah. So back to local elections there. Anything firmed up yet? Nothing yet?
Nothing has been firmed up. I've been trying to, it takes a while because remember, polls would have closed around 6:30. And they actually have to get the ballot boxes to a certain secure place where they are able to count, make sure the Elections and Boundaries Commission officials are present. And it's usually a lengthy process, and they have to have the presiding officer and a lot of officers involved and tallying and including each party representative to ensure that nothing fishy is happening.
I'm in a very hairy Trinidadian WhatsApp group, and they've been showing me videos of everything from a political party handing out money for votes, as well as someone walking off with a ballot box unsecured. You leave some of the
a lot of nonsense has happened in times, and I know some things are kind of silly. But I guess you ought to be able to discern facts from fiction and what people are trying to drum up for bacchanal and trouble.
Exactly right. Because I don't want to mention that on the show. I mean, which party they are accusing, because I know it's all foolishness, right? Because these things, I mean, it's just slander, really. So we don't want mention any political party involved in that. But yeah, it's a real hairy group. Yeah, so they've been watching this election like a hawk. And so they're taking this very, very seriously.
But with the onset of the rainy season and with a lot of floods taking place in the last few years, it's come down to a lot of people saying, "Hey, we need something more.
Yeah,
y'all need to really take us seriously."
Yes,
but it usually comes down to government. They are the ones that are responsible for the main rivers. I mean, I know local government, they take care of the tributaries and the drains, but the main rivers, and that's where the heavy sediments build up, and it comes down to your drains in front of your homes, which results in the flooding.
Yeah, and the local government is responsible for that, right? Taking care of
that. It's actually central government with the main rivers. The tributaries and the drains are your local government. But if main government is not, the Ministry of Works is not handling that main river, it's going to affect the where local government handles.
Yeah. So I hope you guys go through this election process very peacefully, man, and it comes out with the best person possible who wins these seats. This is very important. Well, you guys have your own problem.
It has maintained the same. It traditionally has remained the way it was. The only time we actually saw a swap and a transfer was in 2010 after the People's Partnership won. They continued in that landslide into local government elections. And we actually, for the first time, we saw
because people were sick of Manning.
But not just Manning, but just the way things were being handled. And they say, okay, let's give them a chance. And they actually had a majority of the regional corporations.
Gotcha. So I guess Kamala is looking forward to seeing something like that, but happened in 2010, right? I guess she's looking at that.
Ideally like to, but I don't see it. I really don't.
You don't see it? I'm seeing some of the early returns, and she's winning more than at least 2/3 of the seats from what I'm seeing. The mock results. I don't want to read these results because I'm seeing she's winning.
Where are you looking at results though? May I ask what's your source?
Someone's inside one of my same hairy Trinidadian WhatsApp group. They're screenshotting the results as they come across. Yeah, they're screenshotting the results that they come across, and it looks like the UNC is winning some of these things very handily. As all the results that
if it's traditional areas that they usually run, you would see that.
Okay. Enterprise, Northeast, and Esmeralda. UNC got 1,478, and the UNC has 1,366. For Kokal, Mafekin, am I pronouncing it?
Mafekin, that's Mafekin.
Yeah, I guess
it's usually a UNC area.
Okay, but I'm seeing early results that is 137 votes to the UNC 137 votes to the PNM's 54. That's the early returns coming in. I also see Tumpuna. So what's the difference between Tunapuna and Tumpuna, Kim? Oh, you popped off? Okay. I don't read any more of these results. I want to wait till the official results come in, but it looks like the early returns are coming in for the UNC.
Tunapuna and Tumpuna is a distance. I remember those names are Amerindian.
Okay, I got you.
So there's the different places for sure.
Okay, well, it looks like this one, the PNM, the early returns coming in 465 for the PNM and 442 for the UNC and Tumpuna. So I'm getting those are the results.
Yeah, they're usually a PNM area.
PNM area?
It's the Tunapuna Piarco Regional Corporation is usually held by the PNM. And it's
Okay.
only back in 2010 they had a chance with Khadija. I mean, I think she was their chairman back then.
Okay. I'm not even saying these people's names. Well, I'm going to start now. Marabella East, I guess that's the UNC state stronghold, right? Marabella
Marbella
East.
East. Marbella East was, I think that's where there was a switch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
They have Kern Ramden from the UNC has a 1,304, compared to a Dave Pazraz for the PNM with 1,015. So that's the early returns coming in. So Kern Ramden is ahead in Marbella
it's
East.
still early. It's
Yeah,
very
still
much
early.
early.
So we're gonna wait to see. Okay, let's stop reading these
Yeah.
stuff then. Still early, yeah. So because you say about 20,000 people in some of these seats, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's very, very early. We don't want to go through all that. Very, very early.
Some might be a little bigger, especially when it comes to the city. It depends on the population density in each area.
Okay.
Right?
So we just wait to see then. Okay, you guys gonna have fun tonight. It's gonna be a lot of celebrations tonight, regardless of what happens. So
Well, it's a usual thing here. I mean, I've
Mm.
covered these things for most of my career.
okay,
And
gotcha.
local government is not the hype is really when it comes to general election.
General elections, of course.
Yeah.
I remember that 2010 general elections like it's almost yesterday. And I remember some of the interviews from some of the people, the PNM, when they lost that seat. They were crying, man. They were heartbroken, man. They blamed Kamala
Yeah.
for Kamala didn't even take the prime minister's chair yet. She didn't even read her oath yet. And they were crying and they said, "Oh, the UNC is going to destroy the country." This and that. It was bad. Oh my goodness, I was
And it's
laughing.
only when Raleigh came in
Mm.
and started doing those things that they were fearful of,
Mm.
those things resurrected and started to want them. So
Oh,
it's
Lord.
become meme. It's become entrenched into our Trinidadian meme culture right now, especially election time.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. So switching up from that, Kim, we have our own situation here in the Bahamas. We had the house was prorogued on Saturday. You know, the parliament was prorogued on Saturday here, and they're wanting why it's prorogued. So we're gonna have parliament reconvene in October 4th. And so everyone's wondering what's the next move from the prime minister, because everyone's saying that it's going to be a cabinet shuffle, and that's the reason why he did it, why he prorogued the House. But people forget as well, once you prorogue the House, that entire legislative agenda that was before the House gets swept away, and they can have a chance to bring back new bills. So in my mind, I'm thinking, what did he sweep aside? So we have to go back and comb through all of those bills that they have on the table in Parliament and find exactly what happened. Why does he want a new parliamentary to convene on October 4th? Why does he have to, not dissolve, but why does he have to prorogue that parliament to start a new parliament on October 4th?
You think it's because of what happened with that guy from Abaco? Cabinet shuffle?
No, he's not that powerful. He's not that powerful. He's only a parliamentary secretary. He's not that powerful. I mean, you could set him
Okay.
aside like tomorrow, like yesterday. Like he's really nothing. So he's gonna deal with his own legal trouble. So yeah, that's a blip on the radar. There's something more important inside the parliament that they put on that agenda that they wanted to redo, and it couldn't be the marijuana legislation because the marijuana legislation hasn't even been tabled yet. So something we have to comb through exactly what they put on the parliament, what they put up for bills, and what's been lingering since God knows for the past year or two. So we're gonna have to take a look at that, Kim. Because
what has the opposition been saying about it?
no, the opposition said that the regular blah blah. Oh no, the government's a failure. This and that. Blah 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 blah. They can't whitewash their failure, and that's essentially what Michael Pinto, the leader of the opposition, has been saying.
It's moments like these that really call on your opposition to show its strength, and
Yeah,
to show that
right.
they actually have their eye on the ball, and they've been monitoring every step that the government has been taking.
Yeah,
And they
I
have
bet
an
he
idea
doesn't.
what's it all about.
I bet you he doesn't come with any incisiveness, any incision as to what was actually left on the table there. He wouldn't come with that incision. I doubt he will, because he's probably just as shocked as everybody else, But he did say that the Public Accounts Committee, which he's the chairman, Michael Prindad, he's the chairman. He did say that the PAC, the Public Accounts Committee, is going to continue on with their work, regardless of the House being prorogued. So we're going to see how that moves forward. But I doubt he has any incision into what's going on. Unless he would have said it. Yeah, he would have called my editor at least and say, something, they forgot this and they forgot that. And we haven't gotten any phone calls. We haven't heard from them at all. So, let them go
It
about
also
their business.
calls for your intellectual bodies to, your intellectual thinkers within society to say something.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying that we have to actually go take a look. I have to probably call Paul and see what's being clogged up there. I probably got to call him tomorrow and see what's happening.
Yeah.
Do my
Oh.
do my job. Do my job.
Do your
as a
job. Yeah,
journalist.
but it usually calls for, like I say, we always have the political analysts here in Trinidad.
Yeah,
We can
yeah,
count on to for them to lend their voice.
yeah, yeah. But they said that he's going to shuffle the cabinet. We're already hearing whispers that the minister of work's going to be moved around, and we're hearing whispers that the minister for labor and immigration is going to be moved around. And we also heard that one of the junior ministers is going to become a substantive minister in her ministry. So we're going to see what actually shakes up here, because I see some people that could be promoted and some people that need to be shuffled out. But I'm not going to say their names here, because I'm going to let Mr. Davis do his business, Prime Minister Davis do his business, do his work. And that's what they pay him for. They pay him the big bucks for that. So we'll see. We were talking about it all day today. Actually, is exactly who's going to move around and go here and go there. So we're going to see what happens. What Mr. Davis does, whatever he does, I support him 100%. Whatever the government does, I support them 100%. Because they have the right to do what they have to do. And once they're taking care of our business, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So otherwise than that,
That,
what was happening?
I saw that today actually reported World Bank suspending financing to Uganda.
Oh yeah, you sent me that.
LGBTQ law.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Why don't they leave these
And
sissies
it
alone,
just
man?
shows
Sorry,
Yeah.
Kim.
some people have commented as in as this group of people, are they funding the loans? Right?
Yeah.
So why are you so in thought of that? And I mean, them doing this to Uganda says a lot as to what they might consider doing to the rest of the world and countries like ours in the region, Jamaica being one of them.
Yeah.
I know Barbados has spoken. They may review their law, but they will keep it above 16 and 18, age 18.
Yeah.
However, it begs why are you looking at punishing countries because of their laws?
Yeah. LGBT.
That has nothing to do with their development, has nothing to do with anything regarding finances.
So you know what that means? That means someone high up in the World Bank is a flaming queer, is homosexual. and while it's there writing their business, they shouldn't force on anybody else. No, I said that sounds like someone at the high end of the World Bank is a homosexual, and he's compromising, he's having feelings, and he wants to flex his muscles, or she wants to flex her muscles. I don't know why these people think they need to dram this down our throat, though. But my thing is, though, I think we've gone a bit overboard with regard to being anti-gay. I really believe that too. But I think both sides need to sit down at the table and say and come to understanding, hey, let's agree to disagree. You don't like gays. I don't like you being homophobic. So at least let's understand where we come from with this. But otherwise than that, you need to go overboard and stop people's loans with the World Bank and the IMF and the IDB because you don't like, because a country doesn't like homosexuality. That's their sovereign right. That's a sovereign right.
It is. And this doesn't, I mean, this kind of looks into, the church versus state sort of thing. I understand these states, you've put these things into these states because their constitution did not develop overnight.
Yes.
Their constitution, most of them have been handed down from their British rulers.
Exactly.
Prior.
Exactly.
They're colonialists.
Exactly.
And they are just following through with that. Now you're asking them to repeal something that
something you gave
initially
them.
established.
And you get something you gave them, and you gave them their religion as well too. You gave them their Christianity, their version of Christianity that they follow to a T.
Exactly. And now you're trying to change them for what? A minority group.
Yeah.
I guess they're a minority group.
That's what they are. Kim, say the truth. They're a minority group. They're a small fraction. That in the United States, they make it sound that they're so big that I think the gay population is probably less than 5% of the whole United States population. That includes gay and bisexual.
I mean,
so they're really a small group. So you're letting this small group intimidate you. But there's a political science reason for that, because they say these small pressure groups, because they work in unison and they band together, that they actually have the power to change these things because they're moving in concert with each other. They're a small knit group of people. The same way why political parties are successful, because they operate as a unit and they affect their change as a unit. So don't underestimate these small groups because they have the power to make things change. You'll be surprised when people get together, whether it's 5 or 10 people.
They are pretty loud.
Yeah. These small pressure groups, they have a lot of power, man. A lot of power.
Over the years, that's what I've realized, that they've been very loud and vocal, and they've become like bullies to the rest of the country.
Indeed.
And they've coerced their way. They've been so bullying that the Supreme Court and the courts have begun to cower to what they're saying.
And it's so funny, and it's so funny, Kim. It's so funny that years ago they were the bullied ones. They were the ones who were bullied and cowered and made fun of and picked on. And now they're doing the bullying. Doesn't God change things around? Didn't he say that the weak shall be strong and the meek shall inherit the earth? And this is exactly what's happening right before your eyes. They're still God's children at the end of the day.
Whenever I think of that scripture, when it comes to weak being strong, I always think of a David versus Goliath situation, right?
Yeah.
Goliath not being the good, the one of that was more evil, right?
Yeah. But they mean a lot of things too, though. I mean, you have to look at it in the broad sense as well, too.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, that's how it is, So yeah, but I think that sometimes these countries do go over, like Jamaica in particular. I understand their law, right? But I think they've gone overboard with regard to denying that diplomat entry into Jamaica to be a diplomat. But I understand their law, though. But if he wasn't married and openly gay, he would have been let in the country. They wouldn't check for his homosexuality. They would check into the laws in Jamaica, which is understandable, right? But still, though, Jamaica has to do something about that. Now I'm glad that I'm here in the Bahamas, and Sir Lyndon Pinling made the bold move in changing that law back in 1990, and he essentially criminalized buggery here in the Bahamas. While it still is not culturally accepted, you're not going to go to jail for buggery.
Yeah.
He saw the history down the line. He saw it coming. So Lyndon Pinling saw it coming. He was a visionary man. Oh God, something. I look back at it now, and his protege, Hubert Ingram, even though Hubert Ingram was on a different part of the political spectrum, he left the PLP to join the FNM. I never would have thought that we would be looking at the last great prime minister, Hubert Alexander Ingram. My goodness, I can't believe I'm saying that, Kim. And I've criticized that man.
You're actually saying Ingraham.
Ingraham, yeah. I'm almost eating myself right now because I have to admit that Hubert Alexander Ingram is probably the last great prime minister we'll see in quite some time. So I'm looking at the current crop we have now and what we had just recently and what I see on the horizon. Trust me, I think that's going to be a long while before we have another prime minister, at least that could fill Hubert Ingram's shoes, which wasn't that great to be anyway, because I've criticized him. He done a lot of damage in this country. But who would have thought that he would be the last great prime minister?
You speak about Pinling, right? And
Pinling. Or they'll never tie his bootstraps, Kim. Never, ever in this country. Never will there never be another Sir Oscar Pinling. Never. It's going to take generations after that.
He left a good legacy in the sense that his wife was able to hold on the post as governor general, right?
Yes.
Marguerite.
Yes, and she's still hanging on, man.
Yeah, she's one of the most graceful ladies I've seen in the Bahamas. She's very beautiful. I love her. She has impeccable taste in dressing. She's always been classy and kept herself.
Yeah.
She's one of the ladies from the Bahamas that I admire. I must say. If I have to call someone, it's Dame Marguerite.
Yeah. But they say in secret though, she's not the kind of sweet lady that you see on the outside. She's very classy and diplomatic, but behind the scenes, she's not that nice, sweetie kind of lady. But I've met her before in person.
She's very strict.
Yeah, not strict. She's very snooty, She has an air about her. Yeah.
I would figure that
comes with territory, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
She's generations, and she comes from that family, not so.
No, she comes from very humble beginnings, man. Sir Lyndon picked up off the island, man. And she had nothing. He was smitten with her and say, somebody wants you, bam. And so she was Lady Pinland.
But she was she's a very good looking woman.
Oh, she is. I would have
compared
picked up
to
too.
her husband.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, everyone knows Slim Pinland was in the beach. He was a nice. But you know the funny story though. Slim Pinland wanted to marry my aunt Grace.
Really?
Yeah, he wanted to marry my aunt Grace. My aunt Grace didn't like him because apparently he was too ugly for her. So then she lost. She lost her mind when he got married. He became the prime minister. She lost her damn mind. She
could
couldn't
have
believe
been,
that. Yeah.
maybe.
Auntie Grace is still kicking it too. Auntie Grace is still alive. Auntie Grace is still alive, but she never got over that. She lost her mind when Finland became the prime minister of this country
What are
because she
her thoughts
rejected
on
him.
Dame Marguerite though?
Not very nice words. Because a lot of women thought that they were going to be with Finland, especially when he became a lawyer and he became the leader of the Progressive Liberal Party, and so he had women lining up to him, but he picked Dame Marguerite, and I think that was a good choice. Even outside of my aunt Grace, that was a good choice to pick her.
Yeah, she's a woman of grace and she comes across as being a woman of substance as well.
Yeah,
The way she carries herself, very elegant, very
Mm.
graceful, and I
Mm.
think she was a good face for the Bahamas
Yes,
as
yes,
its
yes.
governor general, and I think
And she
she
still
served
is.
well.
She still is an ambassador of this country. It's a good woman,
Yes,
man. You know, amazing, man. And she's still going strong.
yes, I think I saw her for the independence celebrations, and she looked
Yes.
rather well.
Yes. And the thing is, with her, she never humiliated that man in public. There was never any scandal that you would say, "Oh, Lady Finland humiliated her husband in public," in any kind of official function, anything like that. Never was like that. That like the thing what happened with Rowley and his wife in this what is the
Special
Marine.
branch.
Yeah, and the Marine. No, never would that happen. Never would that have happened. And Rowley should be ashamed of himself for not controlling his house, man.
You're saying it, not me.
Yeah,
Let me
I know. No, because Ansel Roberts, that's his name. He had that
Ansel
man for
Roshi?
Anil Roberts from the UNC.
Anil
Anil
Roberts.
Roberts was slandering that man's name and character, man. He should not have done that. No one should have your family's name in them out like that in this Prime Minister rally. You should have dealt with Anil Roberts right then and there
Anil
for
Roberts.
slandering
But,
your wife.
I would say a lot of bad things has been said on the other side toward Kamala and her family.
Yeah,
A
I
lot
can
of things
imagine.
have been said, yeah. So it
But
goes both ways.
I know, but your wife is something important. But like I said, but we're speaking about the prime minister level now. We're not talking about back and forth political back.
No,
We're talking
even
about the prime minister.
when she was prime minister, a lot of
That
things were
shouldn't
said
happen.
when Kamala was prime. Yeah, it should not.
Yeah.
But
And
it
your
does.
wife should not humiliate you, and your husband should not humiliate you in countless instances, right? Your wife should not humiliate you in public, and your Lady P never humiliated that man in public. No one ever had anything negative to say about her. The way I've seen some of these people handle some of these other people's wives and spouses. Never. It was unheard of. You could not do it. You could not do it because there was nothing to be said. If there was something to be said, you better shut your mouth. That's how much respect they had for them.
Yeah. I think it's a matter of how you carry yourself, no matter what. In closed doors and in the public eye.
Yeah,
You never know
indeed.
who's listening. You never know who's looking.
Of course, yeah. Even right now, this LimeVibe podcast, I don't know who's listening to this. I wish I could see who's all listening, but I'm imagining that people are listening. Without 20 or so viewers that view every night. I know it's the same people that view every night, because they love the talk show. We're gonna explode, Kim. Don't worry. Just be calm, be patient. We have our loyal listeners. They're right there listening. And I want to thank you guys for supporting us from day one of the LimeVibe Live podcast. Oh, thank you so much. So yeah, you gotta start them up, and we gotta put out a link. We gotta have some of these people call in sometimes, Kim. I gotta probably put the link up and probably
we need to arrange that. I know that it's just you and I right now controlling
I'll fix it up. I'll fix it up. I'll do a recurring link on Zoom. I'll share it inside the description so people can actually tag in. I'll do that. Yeah, that'll be my task for this week. So by next week we'll have someone to link up with us. So they can call in and see what's going on. So we're looking at two other disturbances here in the Caribbean too, Kim.
Yeah.
On the Atlantic, the Eastern Atlantic. They're not tropical storms yet, but they are firming up. They have at least a 30% chance of firming up, man. The National Hurricane, National Hurricane Center.
Saharan dust.
Oh, Saharan dust. Okay, that's still going on.
So,
I thought that was over, man, Kim.
No. We actually had bad Saharan dust over the last few days. And that actually stymies the formation of these storms.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. So from solidifying to anything greater.
So that's
Because
the African.
storm,
That's the
yeah.
African obey canceling out the other African obey, right? The African obey,
Oh,
they were
yeah.
sending hurricanes, and now they send the siren dust for the obey. So the obey is canceling out each other, Kim. Their witchcraft and obey is canceling out one another, Kim.
Talking about these kind of climatic events.
As obey and witchcraft, it's kind of diminishing it. No, it's not. It's
No,
true.
no, no. You know the United Nations is having their
What?
meeting coming up in September,
Hmm.
and I believe Antigua and Barbuda are expected to host the Small Island Developing States SIDS 4 meeting next year, sometime next
Okay.
year, right?
Okay.
So they're actually getting their boots in line for preparing for this meeting. I saw that there was a regional preparatory meeting for this. It happened in St. Vincent and Grenadine sometime this week gone by. And they were talking about the strategic responses to external shocks impacting Caribbean SIDS. And I think it's about time that we get our voice united as to how we handle this climate change together. What is needed? A lot of talk was that emerged from last year's the Conference of Parties, COP27, was the whole call that Barbados Prime Minister called for the loss and damage funding, and how this fund will be accessed. Because this was just spoken into last year, and this was just signed on to, but it's a matter as to how these countries are going to access this kind of funding, and what will be the program approach for the region to get this funding that will make it ready and be a little more resilient against climate change.
That's going to be in Antigua next year.
Yes, so there's a lot of data that they're putting together, collating data. I guess all Caribbean countries would have their researchers. These companies like the Basel Convention, they would do their research as well. And they would be working with these agencies to have this thing. So the Analytics Caribbean is the one that's actually working on this whole regional approach to ahead of next year.
Okay, they're keeping this climate fight going. That's good. The Caribbean should keep that energy up regardless, and they should build on what we built off from COP27, right? And they should continually build on. No, it's COP26 is the big one, right?
It was, so we're having COP28.
Yeah, we had COP28 now, but COP26 was the big one. But they had the huge slam down meeting where everybody was at the table and they set out some real guidelines what was going to move forward, right? How we're going to move forward this climate change. Yeah, COP26. I remember that vividly. COP26 and everything after that, it was kind of like an anticlimactic, like a watershed moment. So there's going to be a lot to build up from COP26, man. So hopefully we could get that snowball rolling and leading up to COP28, and we could, make some strides with this climate change fight, man. I'm losing my bearing to this climate change fight, Kim. I'm not sure exactly where we are with it. What's exactly the game plan. So hopefully this meeting in Antigua and Barbuda, like you said, Barbuda. Yeah, Barbuda, they can actually, clear out some of the haze and actually put some real straight guidelines into how we're going to approach this climate change fight, man. Because you need to come with united front, Kim.
The SIDS was something that was actually developed and coined within the region, I believe. The term Small Island Developing States. I remember, I think it came out from, it was said in Samoa back in 2014, but I remember our Foreign Affairs Minister and our Planning and Development Minister talking about it. And I think it was someone from CARICOM that actually pushed. I've actually heard SG, Dr. Carla Barnett talk about this, that SIDS was something that was derived from the Caribbean. And the call and need for focus to be on these small island developing states, that they're in that critical zone where they're very much vulnerable to a lot of things that are happening around the world climatically, especially when it comes to the erosion of their coastal areas, and need to be protected from storm surges and things like that.
Gotcha.
naturally they're most vulnerable to natural disasters. But it was coined because they needed to focus on their biodiversity, and because they often lacked economic alternatives when it came to support. That support needed to make them resilient.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
the return to the Caribbean next year in 2024, with hosting it in Antigua and Barbuda, is something of interest. And I
Barbuda,
believe
Kim. Barbuda.
Barbuda. I said Barbuda.
You said Barbuda.
Yeah. It's a return to the Caribbean. It's time that, you know, we've all leaders have been vocal at the United Nations level, especially Barbados Prime Minister Mia Motley. And it's time that, you know, we be the voice. They see it for themselves here in the region.
Yeah. We need a unified voice. We need to clear up some of the smoke out of the room so we can be very, very clear.
It's our opportunity. It is our opportunity.
Yeah, hopefully it makes an impact, you know. I move from the talking stage and from the planning stage to actually implementation stage, you know. Because I feel there's a lot of talk about the climate change, you know, especially in the region. There's a lot of talk. I'm not seeing any actual action take place, you know. I'm not seeing action on the ground. I'm not seeing things materialize. It's been 2 years now since we really kicked this up a notch. I don't see the money pouring in. I don't see the path breaking projects. I don't see it, Kim. I don't see it. You know, it's just talk. I don't see it. I know it takes a long while to form, but my goodness, we need to see some impact. We need to see something, man. It can't just be talk all the time.
A lot of people, here's what, and years gone by, in the last few decades, and many, we would have heard this from people like the Carbon Climate, that company that Raquel Moses is the CEO of. She would have had many talks, but she is in charge of getting the Climate Smart Accelerator, Carbon Climate Smart Accelerator. That's the company she has. What has been done in the last few years is that a lot of governments have often contracted researchers from outside of the region to come in and to assess our vulnerability stages and what needs to be done. However, that being said, many of these companies have taken advantage of governments in the Caribbean, and they've taken that research and used it for their profit and their corporate thing.
Of course.
And it's never come back to us. And monies was spent on research and what needs to be done, but nothing has ever been done and put in place for the region. It's time now. I think we've reached that stage where we have the academics, we have the academia research tools that can be used within our region itself. We have agencies established in the Caribbean, and we own the research now, and something I think can be done.
Yeah, but it sounds like the same regular thing that happens with all the other international development aid that comes into the region, that these groups, they take advantage of these smaller countries and they take the information with them. See, and that's the thing with these development aid packages, you know, and these things that supposedly help the Caribbean. These people only want to monitor the Caribbean. They only want to get the market research and the data to take back to their, you know, their large corporations so they can do more analysis, right? So it's just a testing ground for a lot of their programs and their projects. So gotta be careful with them, you know.
They kick us. You've gotten rich.
Exactly.
For the poor.
Exactly.
And nothing has come back to us.
They use us as a staging ground to test their latest products, whether it is with chemicals or whether it is with social science-based projects and economic projects like this and political science projects. They test grounds here to see if it works, and then they take it somewhere else, you know. They've been doing that for years, Kim. So I'm not surprised that's happening in the climate change arena. And the climate change arena is being tainted by all the same thing that the regular development aid packages are being plagued with, you know, corruption and unsavory characters and you know, some companies and some corporations, they're getting the bulk of the projects and the contracts, you know, the same kind of horse trading, the same thing. But at least for us, like you said, we having our own academics come forward now. We need to move forward from the talking stage. It's still talk. I mean, you start blaming people. We need to get some, you know, Raquel, don't blame nobody.
So,
don't blame nobody.
Raquel Moses, she is the Climate Smart Accelerator in the sense that she gets the financing from, she's able to gather the financing from agencies that are actually giving. That company was actually founded by Richard Branson of Virgin, put together by her and a lot of philanthropists. So a lot of the monies that she is gathering for these projects come from philanthropy from around the world. People that are willing, hey, okay, well, we need to offload our tax burdens and probably put money towards the environment. Let's put it in these areas.
But like I said, Kim, I'm not seeing anything being done. I don't see anything finished.
Climate Smart Accelerator is something that's only been formed recently. And Loss and Damage Fund was something only put forward by Mayor Motley last year. And it's only recently that we've actually seen people talking about SIDS. It's only recently, 2014 is not too long ago. And getting it's a matter of getting the interest. So you put forward the SIDS at the United Nations level. That you have to get that support. You have to get that voting support from all the regions, from all the countries around the world. That's why you have the Conference of Parties. It's actually a conference for those who give monies towards a climate change. And that's why you always hear them clamoring for that 1.5%. You big companies that are actually impacting the world and the climate need to do something. That's what the Conference of Parties is all about.
Yeah, but you need something else. You need something concrete and tangible from Mia Motley's, campaign around the world. You need to show something for it, man. Just can't be another round of talks, conversations.
Yeah, but honestly, I saw the cry and the plight of the Caribbean leaders last year, and they actually walked away feeling somewhat defeated. Yes, they agreed, but it seemed as though they agreed. The world leaders agreed, grudgingly, not really willingly. Okay, we hear what you're saying. Yeah, we'll just pacify you and sign this. We're not sure as to how long it's going to take. And that's why when she goes to these conferences around the world since last year, November, she has been calling the importance of the Loss and Damage Fund.
Yeah, and she needs to hammer that home. She needs to actually get something in writing and get something concrete.
So you have to understand, it's the SIDS voices, they've often taken for granted because they're small islands.
No, you got to get it done.
Populations are nothing.
You got to get it done. Everyone's on our side, Kim. Everyone's on our side. Everyone's on us. Everyone sees the damage.
On our side. I don't think it's. I mean, you're hearing them. They like talking the fancy thing. We hear all leaders doing their part and trying to get that attention. And they would say things on the stage in front of all the cameras to pacify you. But it's really getting them to get the action. Put it into action.
But we need to get our leaders in a position where they can actually squeeze something out of them, man, because that's what they're there for. They're there for results. They're there for results, Kim.
I think
they need to close.
One of that.
They need to close the deal. They need to seal the deal, Kim.
Yeah.
They need to seal the deal. They need to get something done. They need to seal the deal.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of these countries, these big players, often see us and they've seen the small islands as, okay, well, you really have this much debt. You really owe us this much. Your GDP is not that good. So what's the sense investing in you, right? And that has often been used as the measurement, as a gauge, as to why we aren't really going to help you. You're paying 25% interest on a loan that's going to take you into the next century, perhaps, right?
Yeah.
And when you look at that, and now Mayor Motley has brought out the Bridgetown Initiative. Which is supposed to get that attention. Yeah,
okay. So just another fancy arrangement. And what's actually being done.
I don't want to be ignorant and say it as a fancy arrangement, Yari.
Well, nothing being done.
No,
nothing's finished yet.
The Bridgetown Initiative is
something. To me, listen to me, Kim. To me, that's just an idea right now. That nothing is being done yet. That's just an idea. Okay?
Right.
Nothing has actually being done. Nothing's being completed yet.
But I say it's something new, right? It's only been drafted last year.
Okay.
It's only been last year the Loss and Damage Fund has been pushed and it's been grudgingly signed on to at the COP meeting in, I think that was one of those Middle Eastern countries.
Man, she's the one jet setting, not me. She's the one jet setting going from country
She's
to
trying
country.
to get the support for the
Okay.
votes needed for you all to sign this.
Well, get it, miss, get it.
Right. And,
Get it.
you say like she's jet setting, like she's joyriding. She's trying
No,
to
I'm
get
not
that
saying.
support.
Well, get it. We need to see something done. Because I
Right,
can see this
and-
going on for the next 4 or 5 years. Just talk after talk after talk. I can see it happening, Kim. You may not see it happen, but I see it happen. I see nothing but talk and loops of talks. I see nothing but talks and talks and talks.
The Bridgetown Initiative is something new. And I think it's a
All right,
matter
let's
of
give 'em
people
that. Okay.
understanding that, right?
Okay, let's give them that. Okay, fine. I give you that.
Uh,
I give you that. Trust
so-
me, Kim, I know these people go, Kim, they go, maybe because I'm from Bahamas and I see them talk and talks and talks and talks and talk. And they get you excited with the same thing they told you 5 years ago. I was supposed to be done 10 years ago. And they re-excite you again with the same thing. The next thing you realize is the same thing you told me. You told me this 10 years ago and it hasn't been done. And you see nothing but just talks after talks after talks. We need something done, Kim. And that's why I hope this meeting in Antigua and Barbuda will actually solidify at least a pathway for maybe actually have some actionable steps to say that, hey, we know we can't get the whole cake. Maybe get a little slice of the icing off the side. And do it like that. You put out a concrete step of what you're going to get done, how you can achieve some of these achievable goals. We don't need the whole cake. Just show us something that's been done.
What I'm seeing lately, especially through the CCSA, which is the Caribbean Climate Smart Accelerator, it's that it's not dependent on governments. It's actually been dependent
Private
on
sector.
the private sector,
That's good.
right? And it's been partnerships of the private sector. I mean, the Bahamas has many companies that have actually been qualified for some of these grants, like the Earthshot prize that was pushed by CCSA. We see a lot of the private sector partnerships happening. Government not having that much. They sign it on. They give the legislation approval, but that's it. But everything funding goes, private and philanthropy and things like that.
That's good.
And
That's good.
I think we need to stop blaming governments in that sense, and really look for the public-private sector partnerships.
Yes.
Take center stage when it comes to these things, if we really are to save our countries or islands in the Caribbean.
Now let me ask you a question. What exactly is this Climate Accelerator doing? What's exactly their mandate? What is
I
aside from raising money?
minutes ago.
Aside from raising money,
I-
what exactly are they doing? What projects what projects are they aiming for in particular?
Well, the green hydrogen project that's happening in Dominica. That's
Okay.
one.
Okay,
They're
they
part
put
of
that
that.
together. Good.
And they're also part of numerous projects when it comes to funding, with the solar energy, the windmills.
Good.
So they have the hydrogen happening also in Barbados.
That's
They've
good.
got quite a good bit of projects happening.
That's
throughout the
good. We need to
entire
get
region.
behind Ms. Raquel Moses. We need to get behind her and actually get her to get more actionable projects
we
around the
have
region.
been promoting a lot of the work through CMP. Maybe you need to read back some of those articles.
Yeah, we need to get behind them. I've seen you write about her quite frequently, actually. Some of the other, the green energy projects and whatnot. We need to get behind her, man, because at least she's out there trying to get something. We need to support her and actually get behind her
actually
action
a
plan.
United Nations climate change ambassador.
Okay. Oh, really?
from the
Okay.
region,
All right.
right? So she's
We need to talk
out
to Ms.
there.
Raquel Moses. You need to talk to her, man, because he sounds like she's
Yeah,
the one who's on the move, man.
I've done interviews with her before, but that was last year.
Last year? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to talk to her, man. She sounds like a very interesting woman who's committed to at least starting something sensible, at least putting a plan forward and has a clear goal in what she wants. And she's raising money for this because this is going to help that. That takes a logical progression, and a lot of people don't have that kind of tenacity, that kind of focus, At least she's bringing some clarity to this hazy smoke of climate change business, because I see it's getting hazy again, Kim. Just meetings after meetings, and it's getting we're getting lost in the weeds with this, man. We need seawalls, we need wind farms, we need solar farms. That's what needs to happen. And all this extra talk and fluff. That's my 2 cents, my rant for the night.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
encourage you to look them up and see what they've done. A lot of the projects that the CCSA has engaged in, and see what they've been doing, the partnerships that they have, they're involved in, and what they're doing.
Yeah, and you can investigate exactly how these projects are actually working at the end of the day too.
Yes.
So that needs to
They
happen.
have a lot of success, right, in your home country, actually.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I gotta talk to my climate change representatives here.
Yes.
Dr. Adele Thomas
I
and,
encourage you to do
Marjan
that.
Phillison. Yeah, I'll look into that because it seems as if, Ms. Raquel Moses is a very entrepreneurial woman, very enterprising woman, I'm very keen on her because I've seen her, flash across my social media hundreds of times, but I haven't really dug deep into exactly what she's doing. So now I'm going to make an extra attempt now to dig in to see exactly what she's doing. Ms. Raquel Moses. She's not paying for any of this advertisement here, Kim. She's not paying for any of this. If she's raising all this money, she's paying some money for the LimeVibe podcast because you've been her staunch supporter, Kim. You need to tax her pockets.
No, I'm just trying to educate you on agencies that are in the Caribbean. I'm not
No,
being someone that's promoting anyone in particular.
dig in her pockets, man. She got that money. Dig in her pockets. She raising that money. Let's talk about it here. We can talk about it, Miss Moses. Yeah. So it's 9:26, Kim. That hour went by pretty quickly, Kim.
Yes.
Yeah. So we did a good bit tonight. Anything else you want to end up with? You want to talk about?
No, I won't be here on Wednesday night.
Okay,
I think so.
yeah.
I'm apologizing to those here. I
No
will not
problem.
be here Wednesday night.
No problem.
Actually, the next 2 Wednesdays I can't be here because of some medical procedures.
Yeah. I mean, I hope you take care of that in due haste, Kim, and take care of yourself. Take care of your health, man. That's important. You take care of yourself, man. Otherwise, and I'm taking care of myself too, man. I've gotten down to 195 pounds. I didn't expect to get on that far, Kim. Doesn't look it right. My jaw's still my cheeks are still kind of puffy, but yeah, I got on a lot, man. I got on the scale. But now the devil has led me. The devil has led me on Sunday to a store that had the new Fudgy Fudge Keebler chocolate chip cookies.
Oh yeah, that's
And
what
I'm
you're
eating.
blaming.
Yes, the devil brought me there, Kim. The devil brought me. Now I'm eating them like mad. And I've even gotten riled up by somebody in my house because I'm eating too much of them, right? I'm not sharing them up. And not the double chunk cookies, Kim. The Fudgy Fudge chocolate chip cookies from Kiva. The Fudgy Fudge ones. I know you're gonna love those when you get your season, right? You're gonna love those. But yeah, the Fudgy Fudge ones, Kim. Oh my goodness.
I'm not really into sweets lately.
Are you into sweets?
No,
Okay.
not into sweets. I'm
Yeah.
more a salty and sour, tangy person.
Oh, you still got your mangoes and stashed aside for your child?
We still having chow.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Mango seasons are gone though.
Mango season is now merging into the pomsite season. I'm not sure if you all know what a pomsite is.
No, what's that?
Pomsite, I think you all call it June plum, I think.
June plum.
Yeah, it's a June plum. It's known as a June plum in some countries. I don't know. Or golden apple. Sometimes when it turns it's ripened.
A June plum. Oh, ganeps. No, not ganeps.
Not ganeps.
No. Oh, we don't have those here. We don't have those here in the bottom.
Y'all don't have a pomsite. Okay.
No, we don't have June plums.
It's this
No.
green fruit.
Yeah, I see it. I see
That's like it's crunchy, and inside of it has a very spiny seed.
Yeah, I see it. No, we don't have those here, Kim. Sorry for that.
Yeah.
That's Amerindian
That's the
food, I
other
guess,
thing
right?
that we usually make chows with.
Mhm.
It's sour, it's tangy. We preserve it. We make anchars with it as well, kuchila as well. But yeah, that's my thing.
So you're gonna enjoy your chow. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. Enjoy that taste.
That's the only thing I ate today. I ate it until my chest hurt.
Ah, Lord. Yeah, that's what you crave. That's what you want, man. That's what you want. Like I love chocolate chip cookies, man. I love cookies. I shouldn't be eating them. I love coconut tart as well too. I have a sweet tooth. But Kim, that's us, man. I just want to thank everyone for joining us again for another LimeVibe live podcast. And I'll be back on Wednesday night, but Kim wouldn't be like she said she wouldn't be here for the next 2 Wednesdays, but I'll be on Wednesday night with another show. So please tune in for that. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube page, LimeVibe77. That's LimeVibe77 on Facebook and YouTube. And don't forget, there's a donate link inside the description. So anything that moves your heart to give to the LimeVibe podcast, we would greatly appreciate it. So please, and I thank you for joining us again for another LimeVibe live podcast. This is Dory Camp from Bahamas saying good night. And on behalf of Kimberly and myself, I'll see you again on Wednesday. Let's
Good
get out of
night.
here, Kimberly. Yep. Let's share some studio audio, some computer audio. Let's wind up. Bye.